In 1742, a workman was attempting to build foundations for a bench in the butter market of the Market House. He stumbled upon a millstone buried in the ground and thus attempted to remove it. Underneath was a shaft 2 feet wide and 16 feet deep with toe holes on both sides for steps. Curious as to what was down the shaft in the earth, a small boy among the townsfolk was volunteered to be the first to go. He found a large cave that was nearly filled to the brim with soil. Amidst the rumors of gold beneath the rubble, the townspeople dug with haste, and they found not gold, but something of a much more perplexing nature. Cut into the chalk bedrock, there was a very old and extremely enigmatic structure in the English county of Hertfordshire known as Royston Cave. The cave is 26 feet high and 17 feet wide, with a sort of bell-like shape, and is made by human hand. The thing that makes the cave so interesting is the fact that no one knows who built it or why. It is completely unique in Britain, with comparable works only being found in early Czechoslovakia and the former Palestine. What adds an incredible mystique to the structure is the numerous medieval-style carvings on the walls. Most of the carvings show Christian religious symbols revolving around the crucifixion. Some of the carved figures are in various symbolic positions that are known to also be found in medieval churches, such as a crowned person thought to be St. Catherine, a figure of a naked woman known as Sheila na gig, a large person holding a staff with a child on his shoulder thought to be St. Christopher, a person with a drawn sword thought to be either St. Michael or St. George, and many, many more. Unfortunately, the soil extracted by the original excavators in the 1700s was discarded as worthless, containing fragments of bone and pottery. This is extremely important because today's technology could have told us all we want to know about the time frame in which the cave was built. The carvings may be all we have to go on with regard to the origins of the cave. There have been several attempts to explain who originally constructed Royston Cave and what their purpose was. Propositions include that it might be a secret chapel, a hideout, a burial chamber, a dungeon, a Neolithic mine, or even just food storage. A likely candidate for the architects is a group of Augustinian monks in the area who would have needed a place to worship and store items. The enigmatic nature of the cave suggests that any one or more of these theories could be correct. The most famous theory is that the cave was used as a secret hideout and meeting place for a certain group of warriors known as the Knights of the Temple of Solomon, or Knights Templar. Beginning around 1100 AD, they were meant to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land after it was opened to Europe in the Crusades. Within only 50 years of their founding at the Temple of Holborn in England, the order amassed immense wealth and power, owning over 7,000 manors across Europe, and literally being directly connected to any place with the word temple in it. But even more quickly than their rise to power, the Templars were wiped out of existence in the late 13th century, accused of heresy, with more than 15,000 already being imprisoned, tortured, and burned alive. Some of the members fled, hiding underground or fleeing the country entirely. We know some went to Scotland, but some think that there were others. There are so many intriguing ideas as to where the remaining Templars possibly went and what they might have been carrying, that they probably deserve their own video. Some researchers suggest that the Templars created and/or used Royston Cave during this time of persecution. They cite that many of the carvings look very similar to those found in known Templar dungeons in the Loire Valley of France. One in particular appears to be two knights riding the same horse, a prominent Templar symbol, though far too much has faded away to be certain. A 1953 article by architectural historian Nicholas Pevsner stated that the date of the carvings was hard to guess, but he thought they most likely came from between the 14th and 17th centuries. The early end of the estimate would put the cave's creation at least just after the fall of the Templars, when their survivors would have been hiding out and seeking shelter. So it's a possibility that the Templar theory has credence, but there is not enough conclusive evidence to be sure, and not all of the carvings perfectly fit that time period. For example, one carving shows a man wearing fully plated armor, which didn't become popular until about 120 years after the Templar Order died out, though plate armor itself had been around for much longer, and it is likely that wealthy knights knew about it. So Royston Cave remains an enigma that is yet to be solved. Today, the cave is open to debate, speculation, and tourists. So what do you think the cave was used for? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next time.